Welcome to the Celebrate Brave podcast. I'm Nicole Steinbach, your host and the International Bravery Coach for Women in Tech. I serve women all over the world to earn more money, create more opportunities, and thrive in the tech industry because tech needs all of us. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, brave people. Welcome to this episode of the Celebrate Brave podcast. So, I am releasing this podcast right in the time of year where there's just an incredible amount of celebration and traditions. This is coming out after my birthday, which I know the whole world waits for. I'm 41. It's so exciting. Just every year where I get to become more wise, more in connection with myself and older, yes, older, is, oh my goodness, it's such a luxury, isn't it? So, in between my birthday, the American Thanksgiving, which has horrific origins. It was a celebration after a massacre of the indigenous people of what is now the United States, North America. And it is also a time that I choose consciously around my birthday and around this date. I consciously choose to spend time in gratitude, which I'm going to get to in just a second. And then it kind of glides into Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and Christmas. And you know what? Almost 200 other celebrations all over the world. Some people are celebrating, wintry kind of celebrations of hope and renewal, connection, birthing. And other people are celebrating their summer, the richness of growth and of life and of hope again and renewal and things like that. So it's a really amazing time on both hemispheres and all over the world. So much to celebrate in our own unique ways. I really love this time of year and learning more about the various traditions. So if you're listening to this and you are celebrating outside of the big three that I'm familiar with, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and Christmas, and of course the Western New Year, my goodness, I would love to hear from you. It is so exciting for me to learn about new celebrations. I mean, this podcast is called Celebrate Brave, right? So drop me an email. It's Nicole@tricksteinbach.com. Oh, I would love to hear from you. Okay. So, how does this all relate to you, a woman in technology? Okay, here's why. The traditions and the celebrations from outside of ourselves are so important. They're an opportunity to plug into our societies, our communities, to reflect on values we share with other people. I think that Kwanzaa is the most specific on this one. Each day has a different value. If you're not familiar with it, I really, really suggest taking some time to learn about the days and the values behind it, each of them, and then reflecting for yourself in your own celebration if you don't celebrate Kwanzaa. What are the values that your celebration is about? Which is the direct bridge to how this relates to you as a woman in tech, because there are those traditions and those celebrations from without ourselves that give us a chance to connect to the outside of ourselves, our relationships. And what I want to encourage you to do is traditions within yourself to connect with you. Oh, pretty cool, huh? So I mentioned gratitude. And I mentioned the painful source of the American Thanksgiving tradition. And I also mentioned, so there's honesty there, there's reflection there, empathy and compassion, and also acceptance of my cultural heritage, seeing the positive as well as the negative. And I want to offer that for the internal tradition and celebration as well. So I actually have a handmade leather notebook, and I write in there what I'm grateful for. And then around this time of year, not specifically on the day, but around this time of year, I go back and I look at what are those things that I am grateful for that continue to serve me, serve my clients, serve my family because they're serving me. And what are those things that I was grateful for at the time and I remain grateful for that time, and I'm not going to carry them forward anymore. A really specific example, and this relates to my podcast episode about a board of directors, a career board of directors. As I grow, as I shift, as I step into a higher level of my business, serving my clients in a more powerful way, the individuals on my board of directors have to change. I am still so grateful for the people who helped me transition from corporate Nicole, global senior director, to entrepreneur Nicole, international bravery coach. I am deeply grateful. And I'm 2 years into business. It's very exciting. And my career board of directors is shifting. This is a tradition that I have, a tradition inside of myself, focused on gratitude. Here's something I'd really like to offer and encourage you to do. You know, most of my clients who come to me, they express that they're overworked, they have missed a promotion, they're unhappy at work, and they never, ever shut down. They feel ignored, dismissed, disrespected, and they want to be paid appropriately. They want to have integration of their professional and their personal. You know, they want to enjoy their hobbies without guilt. They want to be truly present for their families. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to be known as the experts that they are, and they want to be promoted. They want their title to reflect not just the impact they create, not just the value they bring, not just the work they do, but the potential that they have. Quite frankly, they want to be treated like men in tech. So, if this speaks to you at all, here are the 3 traditions, the celebrations I'd like to offer you. And they are directly connected to my Build Your Brave framework. Spoiler alert, they are also the 3 steps to being a well-paid, recognized, properly titled, happy woman in tech. So these celebrations and traditions within yourself, you're going to see the results if you do them. All right, number 1, tradition number 1 is actually a celebration. Get really, really clear about all the amazing things that you created in your last year. Those conversations that inspired people, the product strategy that made a difference, the new skill that you built, the habit that you created, the fact that we have all gotten through another year of the pandemic, the friendships that you deepened, the mentoring you offered, the times that you were concretely asking for the promotion, for the salary increase, for the recognition, for the visibility. Get super clear, and celebrate yourself. Get yourself some flowers if that's your thing. Lay down and take a rest. Share your celebrations with somebody on your career board of directors, with your best friend, with your partner. Repeat it to yourself in the mirror and celebrate yourself. Get clear and celebrate yourself. I'm telling you, if you set an alarm for 7 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, and you spend that time writing down all the ways that you grew and you got better and you served other people and you served yourself, oh my goodness. It is going to be so incredibly rewarding. And then if you take the time to share it with someone in your life and share it with yourself in the mirror, make eye contact, you are going to be walking on clouds as the badass woman in tech that you are. You're going to know it. You're going to feel it. You're going to bring it everywhere you are. The second tradition is momentum. So now you have the clarity. Now you have the awesomeness that you've created. And now make a tradition to schedule that. You asked concretely and clearly for a promotion. I'll tell you, side note, I have a lot of consults with women and they tell me, oh, my boss doesn't support me. my boss is against me. The organization is against me. I've missed 2 promotions. And when I ask, what specifically does your boss say? Does your HR say when you tell them these words? I want the promotion to, and then the specific title. So I ask them, when you say these specific words, what's the answer? More than half of the women on the other side of the phone say, well, I've never actually said that. I've never actually asked. Then how do you know your boss is against you? How do you know HR and the organization doesn't support it? You haven't actually missed 2 promotions because you've never asked. So if a celebration of yours is that you asked, schedule it. Pop right onto your calendar and put a reminder for every single quarter, every single month to ask, hey, I told you I'm celebrating, dear boss. I said in July, I said I want the promotion for the specific title. And now I'm following up with an ask. How's it going? Are you seeing what you need to? If this is blowing your mind, please go listen to my episode, How to Make Your Promotion Inevitable. It's going to give you a step by step of how to make it inevitable. If in your celebrations of what you created for yourself includes a killer, supportive, amazing career board of directors, which I really hope for you, then go ahead and schedule, create that momentum of when you're going to reflect. Are the people on your career board of directors still correct for you as you head into the next year, as you head into the next 3 years? Because you know what you want. You're super clear. Now you're building momentum. Schedule it so that, it pops up. Oh, I scheduled this hour. I'm going to really reflect on the strengths and the weaknesses, what I'm learning, how they invest in me, how I invest in them. And I'm going to make sure this all maps to my future. I'm going to make sure I have monthly conversations, bi-weekly conversations, quarterly conversations, whatever is appropriate for you. And if you do not know who's on your career board of directors and what's appropriate, what they're bringing and what you're giving and how often you're meeting and how you're using this, oh my God, please set up time with me. You're not going to accomplish your goal. Let's get on to a consult. Then you're building your momentum. That's the second tradition. And the awesome part is that since you're putting this into your calendar, since you're putting this into your mind, since you're putting this into, yes, your heart, your momentum's going to continue to grow if you actually do it, if you actually invest in yourself. And you're going to take these big steps to be well paid, to be properly leveled, promoted, to have integration of your professional self and your personal self, to enjoy your hobbies and be present for your family, to be happy as a woman in tech. But I promised 3 traditions. So here's the third tradition. And this is accountability. This is the tradition I want to offer you. My clients, get ready for that big inhale and big exhale, because I'll be honest, I don't like doing this tradition either. And it's so powerful. You're going to do a time audit once a quarter minimum. Once a quarter minimum. You're going to spend a week as a new tradition, and you're going to record all your 15 minutes. So I wake up super early in the morning. And in my last time audit, I realized that between about 5 and 5:45, I was spinning. My head was full of things, but I wanted to drink my coffee. I had all these things to do. I just spent about 45 minutes of my day spinning. What a waste, right? What a waste. In fact, are you ready for how much of a waste this is? Hold on to your seat, because it is 16,000 minutes a year. 16,000 minutes a year of my most valuable time. I am not worth much after 8 p.m., but get me up between 5 and 9 a.m. Oof. Yes. So that's 270 some hours a year wasted. Thank God. Thank goodness. Thank all the things. I have this tradition of a time audit. Huge. You feel stressed? You feel overworked? How are you spending your time? One year, oh my goodness, this is so brave. Here I go. I'm stepping into my brave. One year, I was doing this and I realized I spent about an hour a day, a work day, complaining. And honestly, looking back and thinking about how I felt at that time and how often I was drinking coffee with other unhappy people, an hour is probably generously nice to myself. It was probably more. I spent so much time complaining, which then I was working longer hours. I felt icky when I was doing it. I wasn't growing in my career. I wasn't building relationships that felt good, that led to opportunities, that led to results, because I was spending all this time complaining. That's like, I don't know, what is that? That's like 400 hours a year complaining? Oof. What? I'll tell you what I did with that extra 400 some hours a year. I got coaching. I got mentored. I started mentoring other people. I grew in my career. I grew in my identity, and I was a hell of a lot happier. Time audit. So this is your third tradition for accountability. Time audit. One time a quarter, at least 1 week. What are you doing every 15 minutes? This is the time of year of celebrations and traditions. And I deeply believe, and actually I know from my own career, but also from my clients all over the world, that this one celebration, clarity, and these 2 traditions, momentum and accountability, they lead to results. Those happy women in tech, the women in tech who are helping other women up, who are helping themselves up, who are getting the promotions and the visibility, the women who are paid well. They're doing these things. So I celebrate you. I celebrate your brave. And I will catch you next week. Till then, brave it up. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Celebrate Brave podcast. If you're ready to build your brave, to live a life you love, and create a career that matters to you, reach out. Together, we can spend time one-on-one to explore how I can help you. And until then, share this episode with people in your life, people who can join our movement to redefine brave, how we identify it, experience it, and celebrate it.